Call this meeting to order. Our first order of business is the financial statement. We did have one financial statement that didn't get approved. That was in February. So I'd like to bring that in there as well. So first of all, I entertain a motion for approval of the financial statement for February.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I need a second.
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion and a second. All in favor?
Nay.
Nay.
Okay. Mayor votes yea. All right, the financial statement for March. I need a motion for it.
Got a question on the financials for March. I just have one item. The $417.67 for Mid-America Outdoors, was that our big lawnmower that we had a repair on or something?
It was servicing on the Dixie Chopper.
Okay.
Okay, still need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to approve the March financial statement.
I got a motion and a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Nay.
Nay. Mayor votes yea. All right, regular session minutes. Need a motion on those.
Make a motion to approve the regular session minutes for March 8th, 2021.
Have a motion, need a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Minutes for the personnel session for March the 8th.
I'll make a motion we approve the personnel session minutes for March 8th, 2021.
Got a motion, need a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. All right, that personnel session for March the 15th.
I'll make a motion we approve the personnel session minutes for March 15th, 2021.
Have a motion, need a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Everybody?
Aye.
Okay. All right, I have a letter from Joe Beshears. It says, I, Joe Beshears, resign from the office of Alderman as I will be sworn in as mayor of Morehouse on April 12th, 2021. Signed respectfully, Joe Beshears. I need a motion to accept that.
Make a motion to accept Joe Beshears' resignation letter.
Got a motion, need a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I need a motion now to close out this session of this meeting.
Make a motion we close out this session of the meeting.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Meeting adjourned. Joe.
Thanks, sir.
Probably needs to sign the oath of office too.
We will swear him in at a later date.
Hey, Carl.
Yeah.
Heather just said that you will be sworn in at a later date
In person.
in person,
He'll have to sign the oath of office.
and you'll have to sign the oath of office at that time.
Not as alderman.
Oh, okay.
He has to be sworn in.
I got a doctor Wednesday, so hopefully he'll tell me something.
I mean, you can swear him in. any time.
You can't vote.
Can you come by and sign it tonight? Can you take the oath and sign it this evening sometime?
I mean, it could be taken down to him.
That'll work.
Hey, Carl, can somebody bring your oath form down and you sign it this evening?
Yeah.
Okay. So we
You can
can,
vote now.
As long as, yes. As long as the paperwork's dated in the same date.
okay.
Yes.
So he can be administered his
That's
oath
fine.
over the phone and then he signs it tonight.
Okay,
You gonna let them know we want to start in?
Yeah, well, whenever she's ready to.
so you, Gabby, Jackie, and then Carl will get sworn in now.
Hey, Carl, just a second, Heather's gonna read the oath. Oh, and then you should be able to hear it, and then we'll bring it by later for you to take. Just sign it. All right. You doing a revision?
Yeah, all together.
So, who else can?
Jackie, Joey, Gabby, and then Carl by phone, and he'll sign this
Okay.
evening. Do you care to run this by him? or-
No.
Can you join?
Do we face you? Do we face the one? Face us.
Raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
Joe,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess all qualifications
That I possess all qualifications
for the office of
for the office of Alderman,
Alderman.
Alderman,
There you go. As prescribed by law,
as prescribed by
As prescribed by
law,
law.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Missouri,
and of the state of Missouri,
and Missouri,
the provisions of all laws of this state,
the provisions of all laws of this state
law
affecting cities of this class,
affecting cities of this
Cities
class,
of this class.
and the ordinances of the city of Morehouse,
and the ordinances of the city of Morehouse,
City of Morehouse,
and faithfully demean myself in office,
And
and faithfully demean myself in office,
myself in office.
so help me God.
so help me God.
Hey, let's go. Game time.
Y'all can just sign them and pass them back down, and I'll make copies, seal them, and give them back to you.
I call this meeting to order.
Give me a second.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. First order of business is the I'd like to make the appointment of Mr. Darren Dial to fill the vacancy for city council.
I'll make a motion that we choose Darren Dial to fill your vacancy for the remainder of the term.
I second.
Got a motion and a second?
No, heard it or whatever.
Was that a yes or no?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we can swear in
Yeah,
Mr.
second.
Dial.
I don't know have one printed for you, but I will get you one.
Hey, I already have one. But you want, oh, that.
No, it's
Okay.
I didn't have another copy of that either. Raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
I, Darren Dye,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all the qualifications
for the office of Alderman
for the office of Alderman
as prescribed by law,
as prescribed by law,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
of the state of Missouri,
of the state of Missouri,
the provisions of all laws of this state,
the provisions of all laws of this state,
affecting cities of this class,
affecting cities of this class,
and the ordinances of the city of Morehouse,
and the ordinances of the city of Morehouse,
and faithfully demean myself in office,
and faithfully demean myself in office,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you.
Whatever you'd like to say.
Yeah. I'll go to the end of the line.
Okay, next order of business will be the alderman appointments. And I'd like to appoint Mr. Dill to fill the position of Mayor Pro Tem.
I make a nomination, or I make a, sorry. How do I word that for you? I make a motion to appoint Randy Dill as Mayor Pro Tem.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, I would like to appoint Mr. Casey for the position of Streets and Drainage.
I'll make a nomination, we appoint Carl Casey for the position of Streets and Drainage.
Got a motion?
I second.
Got a motion and a second?
Can you roll call, please?
Can we get a roll call?
Aye.
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 Carl?
Aye.
Yay!
For the next appointment, I would like to appoint Ms. Hotchkiss for the position of Financial Officer.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Gabby Hotchkiss as the financial officer.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And for the final appointment, I would like to appoint Mr. Dial for the position of Signs.
Make a motion that we appoint Karen Dial for the position of signs.
I second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The next thing on our itinerary is bill number 698, the transfer of municipal court. I'd like a motion to table this ordinance so it can be rewritten. And the reason being is I spoke with Mr. Trenton Dial with the Office of State Court Administration today, and he said there are a few things that need to be added to the ordinance. For example, the raising of the court costs. You have to add in on the ordinance, the police officer training fund has to be added to it, things of that nature. So
I'll make a motion we table this for our next meeting.
Second
Go
that.
ahead.
got a motion and a second. All in favor to table bill number 698?
Aye.
Aye.
The next thing on our agenda is, you'll notice in your packet, we have an email here from, Mr. Stoker. Ben sent an email over. He met with Vendor Engineering at the water plant, and he spent a couple hours over there with the electrical engineer that come down from St. Louis to diagnose the electrical problem we had at the plant. So Mr. Stoker is asking to get 2 hours of paid compensation for his time at that. That's outside of what we contracted him for.
What is it per hour?
I believe he is $17.50 an hour.
Make a motion that we approve the 2 hours of additional pay for Ben Stoker for his time with the engineer at $17 an hour.
I'll second that.
17 or 17?
I think it's 1750. Yeah, near.
$17.50. I'll make a motion that we pay the 2 hours additional to Ben Stoker at $17.50 an hour for his time with the engineer.
I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Did we figure out, is he going to work on the weekends to take water samples?
He is, we hired him, we voted in a personnel session. Those minutes were approved. That would have been the personnel session, the minutes we approved just a moment ago from February 15th of 2021. He was hired to do weekend testing
In addition to his normal?
in addition to his normal contract.
Okay.
Got a motion on the floor?
I'll second that motion.
Second it.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is you'll see a quote from Hawkins Chemical. And this quote was given to the city on January 6th of 2021. And it says there at the top that the quote expires 60 days from that date. So this quote has now expired. So I would like a motion to table this due to it being over 60 days old. And I will send an email tomorrow to get a new quote sent over to us. And we'll have it on the agenda for next month's meeting.
I'll make a motion that we table the quote from Hawkins Water Treatment
Okay, got a motion?
until next month's meeting.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next item you'll see, we have a quote from Midwest Meter and a quote from GNC Supply for the frozen flow meter in well house 2. The quote that you have in front of you from GNC Supply, the first one, is that was for a 4-inch flow meter, and went over to the water plant and measured that flow meter, and it's actually a 6-inch. So that quote is no longer good. And he sent me an email today, the GNC Supply Company did, sent another email with a quote for the correct 6-inch flow meter. And that, Gabby, do you have that updated?
You got one too? Okay. Same thing? Okay.
So the second one that you have there, that is the updated quote from GNC Supply for the 6-inch flow meter. And then the one from Midwest Meter is for a 6-inch propeller flow meter. So you can see the updated quote from GNC Supply is $3,029.60. The quote from Midwest Meter is $2,600.
And just to be clear, Mayor, these are the same thing. I mean, there's no difference in the parts.
To the best of my knowledge, there is no difference. On the GNC Supply quote, the top portion is for the actual flow meter, the actual meter portion that up on top that has the dial that reads how much water is flowing through it. The second quote is for the pipe portion that's going to bolt in between the two flanges. And then the gasket, and then since they could not get a 22-inch length, it's a 22-inch flange to flange. So they have an 18-inch 6-inch pipe, and that's, you see that 6x4 filler flange for a total of $387, and then the flange pack, the rubber gaskets. So all in total from GNC Supply is $3,029.60. And from Midwest Meter, theirs is a complete package, flow meter, 22-inch pipe, flange to flange, everything included for $2,600.
And Ben can replace this? Or-
Yes, Mr. Stoker said he could install the new flow meter, no problem.
Well, since
Does
the,
anybody have any questions, concerns?
since the one quote's $400 less and they're basically the same thing as far as we know, right? So,
Yes, and we're not having to piece in a 4-inch filler portion of pipe. It's one bolt-in unit.
One boat in.
Correct.
you guys good with the 2,600?
Let me get clarification from the city attorney. Ms. Taffet, can this be paid out of capital improvement?
Yes.
These funds can be transferred, so we'll have to make 2 motions. We'll have to motion to whoever y'all want to go with to purchase the flow meter, and then we'll have to make another motion to transfer the funds from capital improvement over to another department so the clerk can pay Midwest Meter.
I'll make a motion that we accept the quote from Midwest Meter for $2,600 for the repairs of, for the 6-inch propeller meter.
I second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion that we pay the Midwest Meter quote $2,600 with capital improvement funds and request that we transfer the capital improvements over to the water fund.
Yes, to the water account.
I second that.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Do you also need to show a motion to amend current budget to reflect the same?
Motion to what? Ms.
Amend the current budget to reflect the same transfer.
Okay. So I'll make a motion that we amend the current budget to reflect the same transfer.
Yes.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the wastewater permit renewal. There was the quoted renewal fee of $4,000 is not correct. That was a little bit of a problem on Ben when he got the paperwork. I spoke with DNR today, and we're a public wastewater treatment facility and not a private wastewater treatment facility.
Yeah.
So that $4,000 is not correct. And DNR informed me today that the city is actually current with our wastewater permit. It does not expire until the end, it's due the end of August. So DNR informed me they would send out an invoice at the end of June, and that invoice would be due at the end of August. And the cost for our wastewater permit renewal should be in the neighborhood of $320.
Right.
So I just wanted to bring the board, make everyone aware of that. So that's all I have on this portion of the itinerary. I would like to schedule a personnel session at everyone's earliest convenience and try to also on the same night schedule a work session / budget meeting so we can revisit our yearly budget. So just whenever is a good evening for everyone up here.
How soon you want to do that?
Well, we got to comply with the personnel session. We got to have 24
4
hours
hours notice.
public notice.
I'm available the next 2 Mondays.
Gabby?
Let me get my phone. I apologize.
What's the date on that? I can call and figure out.
Are you going to keep them on Mondays or
Yeah,
during the week?
it actually doesn't have to be on a Monday, just whenever's good for everyone.
I mean, sure, if you're wanting it as early as possible, assuming that it works for everybody, I can post tomorrow and it can be Wednesday. And then you got,
I can't do Wednesday or Thursday this week.
Okay.
I can't do Wednesday or Thursday either, and I can't do the 19th.
Can't.
I cannot soccer.
20th would be the earliest.
Woody, I could do the 26th. Oh, well,
What, the 20th?
I could do the 20th.
20th?
20.
20.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion. Well, do we have to motion to schedule a personnel meeting? No, okay.
I mean, the time.
Just a time.
Well, 6 o'clock work for everybody?
Sure.
That's
Yeah,
close for
I
you?
can get it, I can get it. It's close, but I can get it.
I mean, if 6:30 is better?
6:30 would be better.
Okay, Randy?
That sounds fine.
Okay, we'll go for 6:30. April 20th, 2020.
And that's for your personnel, and then you want a work/budget meeting scheduled for directly after.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it.
Okay, I guess we'll call on board for any other business. Mr. Dow,
I'm good right now.
Ms. Gabby?
I have nothing.
I just have a couple things. The Wayne Street Bridge, I haven't checked on that lately. Do we know what the progress is? Anybody know?
Probably need to either contact Waters or the county.
Okay.
They got flags out there where they surveyed it, but I haven't seen any other activity.
Mayor, do you mind to call the Waters and Associates?
Right here.
The potholes, when are we gonna get a load of that, what do we call it? Not chat.
The Colmex,
Yes.
it has been requested to be delivered from the county. The commissioners have to request that it be done for the county to bring it down to us. But it has been requested that the commissioners,
When we get back, can we have the guys dig out all the gravel in the potholes and put this stuff in and tamp it down really good?
Yes.
Could we get Heather, could we get a thank you letter sent out, or at least for us to sign for Trey for the lights that he donated? That we can sign?
to Trey or to Riley Electric.
Riley Electric. Yeah. That's all I've got.
Do we have an estimated time on that coal patch?
I can try and get one. It's usually just whenever they
When they
get a chance.
You might want to mention to the public what Riley Electric donated.
Yes, I don't know if everyone's aware, Trey Riley, who owns Riley Electric up here, he donated lights for the Little League ball field.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. Did you have any sign-ups? Okay, there was no sign-ups, but I will go around the room and call on each individual if you have anything you'd like to ask. Ms. Lisa? Pardon? Yeah.
Can you do city employees first so I can keep it in line?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Chief Hayes, do you have anything? Chief Whitley? Okay, thank you, guys. Ms. Lisa, nothing? Ms. Patty?
Tornado siren.
Yes.
It's not functioning.
Trey come up and spent quite a bit of time the other day, him and one of his employees, and they was able to get some contactors pushed in and got the lower blower motor will kick on, but the rest of it, there's that thing's ancient. It's older than I am, so.
Well,
But we're working on, we'll try to see what we can get worked out for. I was informed that the city can have grants open with like USDA or CDBG because they fall under the same umbrella, and then can try to get a grant through an outside agency such as FEMA. They don't call them tornado sirens, they call them inclement weather alarms. So I guess in areas if it's prone to flash flooding or different emergency type situations. So we will be working on that. Mr. Larry? Mr. Brashear? Mr. Brashear?
not this time.
Tim? Neil? Ms. Nemo?
No.
I don't know your name, ma'am. Do you have a question?
No.
Sir?
Yes.
Okay.
I got a question,
Can you state your name?
Oscar Smith.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Smith.
About the city ordinances on the way people park on the road. Where I live, if you look across the street from me, the people park every direction and block half the street, and their yard is full of trash and scrap metal and everything else. Is there anything that can be done about stuff like that?
Yes, sir. When I get into office tomorrow, I've already talked with Clerk Hayes. She showed me where the ordinance books are. I will be going through the ordinances, making sure, finding the ordinances that apply to situations. I believe I know where you live.
Yeah, but I've been told by Jackie that as long as there's one car can get down the street, it's clear. I can't get out of my drive half the time the way they park.
The ordinance is vague on that. Mr. Henson and I talked about that ordinance when he was on board about redoing it and having, especially like Jackson Street, should be no parking whatsoever since there's no shoulders. So I mean, the ordinance just needs to be revisited and rewrote.
What number is that, Jackie? What number of ordinance is that?
I'm not sure what the ordinance is off the top of my head.
My point is they've got an old vehicle parked up there half the road and half out of the road that don't run. They got motorcycles parked out there. They got four-wheelers parked out there. All night long there's somebody coming and going.
What's your address, Mr. Smith?
603 Myrtle. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I listen to them rev their motorcycle motors up and everything up there. They do everything after dark. They don't do nothing during the day.
Understood.
We need to address that, not just for me. There's other parts of this town I see people parking like they shouldn't be parking.
I appreciate you bringing it.
If they will clean their yard up, they've got room to park 3 or 4 cars there, but they got some crap. They got so much stuff in they can't do it.
That's right.
I appreciate you bringing it to our attention, and we will address the issue. Thank you. Ms. Belinda?
No, sir.
You, sir? Ms. Rose?
No, sir.
Ms. Linda? Donna? You, ma'am? Caleb?
Yes, sir.
Though next door to my house, that concrete over there, I really would like for him to start cleaning that up because I have a lot of snakes in my yard.
On North Bates?
Understood.
Who is our code enforcement?
We don't have one.
Carpenter House. No, I'm sorry, I didn't see you, Mr. John. Mr. John, you have anything?
No, thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
in reference to cleaning up the town, could we make another announcement when cleanup is here in town?
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
put it on the board up at City Hall, people.
Good reminder. Spring cleanup is April the 24th. Residents need to do their best to get anything that they have that they want to get rid of out to the curb. We'd like to see it not brought out to the curb weeks in advance. That way it's just not out there for a length of time. I understand some people aren't able to get it out to the curb on their own, so they've had a grandkid or a relative come over and help them get it out early, and I understand that. That is a potential, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
On that note, there are things that they won't pick
Yes.
up, but we do have registration papers at City Hall for scrappers. That way, if they do want to come and pick up those items for scrap, at least we have their name and their license and we know who's in
Like for
town.
major appliances and stuff
Yes,
like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
We do know that they won't pick up tree limbs, bags of leaves, grass clippings, old paint cans that's got paint left in them, things of that nature. And I do believe did they leave a list of what they will not pick up?
Yes, and it's posted in the drive-thru at City Hall and on the front door.
Okay. Clerk is informed that the items that will not be picked up are posted at the drive-thru at City Hall, and we will try to get.
There should be one at the post office.
I was fixing to say,
They were supposed to
need
put one
down there.
at the post office. And I don't know if they did or not. I asked if they would try and get one at Liquid Assets in the dollar store, but I don't know if they let them.
Okay, and we'll get on the board, the community board out there, we'll post that for people who can remember.
Hey, can we put that on the Facebook page also?
I was
Morehouse
just
City
gonna
Facebook page?
Who maintains the City of Morehouse Facebook page?
After tonight, it will be me and Joey, and Judy, I think, is an admin on it. And, I mean, we can add whoever.
Okay. I just think it's underutilized in the sense that we could post the cleanup days and some other things. I mean, which is where we live now. People are on social media all the time. I think that obviously City Hall and Post Office are good places too, but I think that might be a good place too. So I know that's another burden that you have to take on to be able to do, but I think, I mean, I don't mind just sharing that also.
Yeah. I'm not big on Facebook, but if somebody else wants
I don't know how that would
to.
work with social media. Are there any regulations on anything like that? As to, do they need to vote and authorize who can? So I'm afraid of.
It would need to be voted on by the board, who is an authorized user
Yes.
outside of
An administrator on the.
City Hall staff.
Yes.
Understood. Okay. Would y'all want a motion? And
That's up to you. I mean,
if you want to be
feel
added as a
comfortable
man?
doing it, like I said, I don't mind to do it, and I think that it's a tool that we can use to, remind, as reminders, let people know when City Hall's closed for inclement weather, those kind of things. Instead of people making a trip, then they can see that or kind of that thing.
So we just need to make a motion for Gabby only, is that right?
It's up to the board. You could make a motion for it to be placed on next month's agenda in case there's anyone else in the community that wants to be involved in that, to keep from hurting anyone's feelings or not making the public aware that that's something you wanted to
I
discuss
think that'd be
tonight.
best to put it on next month's agenda. Yeah.
Then you can motion it next month.
Okay. Y'all have anything else?
I do have something.
Yes, ma'am.
As far as the cleanup, do we not have a place to take limbs and leaves and?
Not as far as the city of Morehouse. I used to read in the Sykeston paper, they had a compost site, but I don't know.
They do, but the thing about Sykeston's compost is that only residents of Sykeston can use it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm wondering if the city of Morehouse doesn't have a vacant lot that they own, that we could put to better use than sitting there as a vacant lot. I mean, the way they do it over at Sykeston is they take one Saturday out of the month and you can come and bring and it's strictly lawn stuff, leaves, limbs, such like that. Bring it in there and you dump it. And the city burns it that day. It's not an ongoing thing every day. You got one day to come down there and take care of your business. But it takes care of, if you drive around town right now, you'll see several different homes that have limbs piled up where there's just nowhere to get rid of them. I mean, I've taken out a tree on my place and a bunch of 30-foot hedges. I was just blessed that I had a place to take them up in the country and put them out and burn them up there. Not everybody is blessed with that.
That's something we could look into.
Well, I was gonna say that when we had our work meeting and stuff, that's something we could discuss and, go from there. We wasn't real sure of the legalities of trying to set up something like that.
Carl, do you have anything?
Yep, I wanna know about the jetter. Y'all get that thing, will we can get it or what?
As far as I know, they're still working on it.
Was you able to hear Heather?
What, Joey?
Was you able to hear Clark Hayes? She said as far as she knows, they're still working on it.
Well, I just wondering if we're gonna get it fixed. Well, I was wondering.
Okay. Well, we did get an email here a while back that some of the parts were still on kind of back order, and they had a lead time on those.
I was just wondering, 'cause we actually need it. approve.
You approved the repair
And
last
I guess the other thing I got is a sewer lagoon. We're gonna have to get that thing up to power.
I have a meeting tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I'm meeting, her first name's Elizabeth with DNR. She's a compliance specialist and she helps cities, work their way through and get into compliance with things prior to the DNR coming over and doing an official inspection. So I'm gonna have a meeting with her tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Well, I know Junkie told us about the backside being where it's kind of messed up. Can't ride around it all the way. You got trees growing out there, which I've seen that personally. And as far as I know, is they got something else going out there. There's only one aerator running. So, I mean, we want to get that stuff fixed.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, I gripe about everything. Anything's tore up, you know, I gripe about it.
That's right. That's what you're here for.
So, I mean, I just don't want to see where we get a big ass ticket we can't pay. And you know, DNR, they won't play.
I understand. You have anything else, Carl?
That's it right now.
Okay. I appreciate you and I'll bring this oath of office form down for you to sign.
All right, thanks.
Hang on. I'd like a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
I second it.
I'll make a motion.
Who made the motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Got a motion and a second.
Who's gonna second?
I second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.